Hello friends, today we're going to be replacing the front wheel bearing and hub assembly on a 2008 Ford F250. First step is going to be to block the rear wheel so it doesn't roll away, jack up the vehicle and support it with a jack stand, and then remove the center cap, the lug nuts, and the front wheel. Next we're going to use a T27 Torx wrench to remove the front locking hub. Now you're going to need a good snap ring pliers, and these are the ones I like in particular. The Knipex brand are real good quality. I don't care for the ones that are reversible or have interchangeable tips. A good solid commercial grade snap ring pliers will do wonders for your work. Next we're going to need a 22mm socket. We're going to remove the brake caliper mounting bracket, and when you remove that, the whole caliper assembly will come off. No need to separate the caliper from the bracket. That saves you a lot of time. Finally, there's going to be four 22mm stud nuts on the back side that you need to take off to separate the hub from the knuckle. These are what actually holds the wheel bearing assembly to the steering knuckle. These are 22mm, and you got to get around the back side with a breaker bar and a short socket and undo those. We sprayed some PB Blaster on them, but you can see they're a little damp still to start out. Once we get all four of these nuts off, the steering knuckle, which is here, and the wheel bearing assembly, which is out here, should separate easily. This is the connection point right here between the knuckle and the bearing. If you look right here, you can see these are the studs. There's four of them that go through the bearing assembly, through the knuckle, and are secured with those nuts on the other side. Whack around it a few times with a small sledgehammer or dead blow hammer till you get a gap starting to form between the knuckle and the bearing. Get a little pry tool in there and start to wiggle it back and forth. Tap all around it a few more times. No, you just your hands. And there it is. Ooh. Now we're going to get a wire brush and clean up the inside of that part. We used wire cutters and just snipped off the ABS sensor. Now we'll install the four studs into the new hub assembly. You can do it by hand with a big pair of channel locks, but I chose to double nut them and use a ratchet wrench to tighten them down. For the final assembly, don't forget your giant O-ring that goes around the back of the new hub. Grease it lightly, slide it into place, and then certainly don't forget to put your snap ring back over the axle stub. That's very important to get it notched down into the groove all the way. The new part comes with the ABS wiring harness, and I'll have a link in the description for the part and some of the tools so you can get what you need quickly. This isn't really that bad of a job. You can do it yourself.